Hey YouTube, Mike from CRM Reptiles. Today we're going to be building our second rat rack. We've had this first one for about 2 years. It's done us well. We just need more space for the rats so they can breed better. Breeding your own rats is a lot cheaper than actually going to Petco and buying them every week for, your snakes, depending on how many snakes you have. And having a rat rack is a really good idea because you save on food because their food doesn't get all mixed in with their bedding. So you save money because it's not being wasted every time you clean it out. It's not being, thrown away with the bedding. And it keeps disease down and keeps the rats healthy. Keeps them entertained too. Kind of, keeps their mind stimulated. Trying to get there and trying to get through, get down. So yeah, we're gonna start that. All right, let's start off with our parts list. We're gonna start off with we need 10. We bought 10 2x3x8s and 4 2x2s for the railings. 1/2 inch 2 foot by 5 foot what do they call it? Hardware cloth. Everything from Home Depot. Oh, and 5 medium concrete mixing tubs. Everything said and done, you probably spend about $100. So first we're going to take 5 of those 2x3s and we're going to cut them down to 64 inches. That'll give us our legs, 4 of them, obviously 2 on each side, and then one that goes right down the back so it stops the tub from sliding out in the back. The other 5 you're going to cut down and make these squares. You're going to need 10 pieces at 25.5 inches long and 10 pieces at 20.25 inch long. So that'll give us our width. It'll be 20.25 inch wide by 25.5 inch long. And then, you'll screw those all up. You'll make this nice little square that we got. Right? And then what we'll do is we'll take our hardware cloth, we'll roll it out, and we'll staple it down. This is ideally easier with 2 people. Somebody will lay it across and stretch it out. But if you just have yourself, you can staple the one side down first, like I did, and then roll it out and stretch it out and do a little bit at a time because it likes to roll back up on you. So we'll do that real quick and I'll be right back. Bang, it's all stapled down. Now what we're going to do is we'll trim it up, make it all nice and neat. One of those rolls covers 2 of the frames. You can buy longer ones, but 2 foot wide is the best option. Like you can do 10 foot long, I think they have. I bought 3 rolls of the 2x5 and they were $7 max a piece. Again, everything from Home Depot. And boom, there you go. All cleaned up, trimmed up. You gotta be very careful because where you trim does have some sharp edges. So I used a little duct tape up top. That way I'm not getting poked by anything. You can just do a better job than I did, make it tighter and closer. But that's what I did for now. And I'll put, those sharper edges in the back of the rack system so that way I ain't getting poked by them. Alright. Alright, now you'll see we have our medium mortar mixing tub. Again, Home Depot. That was $5.75. You want 5 of those. And what the whole object is, sorry, I don't have a camera person right now. Usually my son would be doing it. Stabbed here. Bang. The rats will obviously be in the bucket. And on top goes their food. Again, so it doesn't get mixed in with the bedding and they're not eating, food that's been contaminated by their own feces or urine. Because you want healthy rats. Healthy rats into your healthy snakes. These are added security if there's any escapees. That's baby. Fat cat. And what we'll do next is get ready to put the legs on and get this thing built. The hardest part. One person trying to get the base on to get the levels started. Always drill first, screw second. You gotta lick it before you stick it, right? Bah, just kidding. Okay, so basically we're assembling this upside down. Once it's all screwed together, we'll turn it right side up. Everything will be the right way. So now to put on the rails and measure out the distances between the tubs and to give enough space. We put the tub down. We take 2 of our 2x2s. These are going to be the rails. See, we got them in on the side there. 1, 2. And we'll screw them down. Don't even worry. Tight. The tighter the better, right? Always. That's just as it should be. Because the last thing you want is loose tubs. Enough space for rats to be able to escape. It's bad enough sometimes they like to chew little holes. They'll start with that little hole there and make it big enough that they can stick their head out of. I have a couple used tubs up there. I'll show you later for an example. But again, you just want to make sure these are down there nice and tight. The original one I made, I was worried about it sliding in and out. Well, you know what? You'd rather have it be a tougher time to slide in and out than it to be too loose. Because again, you don't want rats to escape. Okay. We got our rails on. I just threw 1 screw on each side. We're using 2.5-inch screws for this whole project. Again, always drill before you screw. Last thing you want to do is end up with some split wood, trying to get through the project faster. And it just becomes more stressful and more fucked up. See, might be a little snug, but once you have it the right way, you can just, it'll be easy to shove in and everything settled down. But again, you don't want anything to escape. Not necessarily have to worry about the adults escaping. It's more so the baby is able to fit through smaller spaces or cracks and crevices in that might be between the tub and the hardware cloth, as it's called. I don't know. The netting, the liners. I don't know. I'm thirsty. I need some coffee. It's a lot easier to just project with 2 people. Alright, so the next step is those 2x2s. After you cut the pieces you need from that, you'll have 4 pieces left over. Remember, because we bought 4 2x2s and we cut them down to, I believe, 28.5 inches. And we needed 10 pieces. So what we did was cut down on pieces. Anyway, you'll have 4 pieces left over from those 4 2x2s. One there, one there, one there, one there. What we're gonna do is set them up on each corner, and it's gonna be our guide. It'll kind of hold the next level in place while we screw it in. And it'll keep everything level basically. So that'll be awesome. You know, it helps out a lot more, especially if it's just one person. Just makes things a lot easier. Be right back. See? Gives you your spacing. Might not keep it perfectly level, but that's okay. It's not like there's going to be water running down or any of that kind of stuff, or, you know, it's not like water is really involved. So, I mean, it'll just, you know, it does it pretty well. Everybody's going to be okay. See, we're getting there. Remember, you want the screen facing up right now and the pieces of wood like underneath. Because when you flip it up, the food's going to go in there. And these pieces of wood, the frame acts like a holder. Like, it makes sure the food doesn't get kicked out or roll onto the floor. So it holds it in there. It's not only like a frame to put a screen on, to keep them in there, but also to hold their food in. So remember that. Want this against the tub, flat side against the tub. You can never have too many staples in there either. My personal opinion. That's all. If you can waste them, why not? Okay, so I must have made a mistake in my calculation somewhere, because I can't fit a 5th tub in there. But no big deal. How I got 5 in that one, I think I made the spaces smaller between it. I did 8 inches between each thing, but that doesn't make sense. Anyway, that'll give us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 9 tubs all together, which will be cool, because it'll be better than these guys in the tank over here. What we'll do is we'll put the next rack, or the next rack right next to them. You know, screw it together so that way it's more stable. And these little mamas down here, they're not in here. They're not throwing their food all over the place. Poop's not falling all over the floor, which I gotta vacuum up every other day. They'll have more space. It'll be awesome. And this last tub is one of the old tubs I had to replace because you can see it had a hole in it, right? So, what I saw on Olympus Reptiles, they did like a special, their rat racks and, you know, all their rat breeding system and stuff. He put a piece of that hard cloth, the cloth wire over the hole. And what we'll do is we'll screw small holes in there and use zip ties to keep down instead of staples. So that way, you know, nobody's getting hurt. They can't get out. They can't chew through the wire. Awesome. And bang, turn right side up. See, bottom of the tubs, food goes up top here. They can pick through. You know, slide. Oh, it's easier when you got 2 hands. Yeah, so that's it. Again, shout out to Kirk, the camera guy from Olympus Reptiles, for that little trick with the steel wire for the holes for the chewers. Bow. 2 racks. Looks good. Go Birds, Super Bowl winners, even though I'm a Giants fan, but we're in Philadelphia, so. This is going to be awesome. So much better.